I'm telling you, this stuff still holds up. It is still just some of the best music ever produced in this world, bar none. I'm talking, of course, about the Beach Boys. And joining us now on the line is a key element in the Beach Boys and their development. I mean, part of the Wilson Love writing team.
Co-wrote the song we're listening to right now.
That's right.
A classic.
Mike Love is with us on the line. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
Listen, you got Brian Wilson here, not the one you're more familiar with, and Larry O'Connor. Listen,
yeah, but we have met.
We have met. I met you last year. I'm glad you mentioned that. I met him last year at the 50th anniversary tour out at Meriwether Post. And one of the things that I did after that, Mike, was I sort of re-looked at all of the Beach Boys music. It sort of was an impetus for me to go back and dig deep into the vault. And I found out there's a lot of stuff out there where you can hear like just the vocals and just the instrumentation. And as I went into some of that stuff that I hadn't heard before and listened to the old stuff that I had heard before, I found out you guys were really, really good. I mean, by today's standard, this stuff really continues to hold up. Did you know it when you were in the middle of it that it was as good as it would turn out to be?
Well, I think the thing that always distinguished the Beach Boys, of course, was the harmonies and the blend and the complex harmonies that separate the Beach Boys from so many other groups, because that was my cousin Brian's obsession. We all love the Everly Brothers, and we all love the Four Freshmen and stuff, and we learned to sing like that, and we sounded the way we sounded. We were obsessed with blending, not just singing the note, but harmonizing together. Just that was our obsession.
Yeah.
And that, when you talk about the just vocals, that's from that Pet Sounds box set years ago, where they just had a CD with just the vocals on it, and it's amazing to listen to.
It was like so dead on, and this was before auto-tune. I mean, you guys were just nailing this stuff.
Right, yeah. Well, we did it on the song Wouldn't It Be Nice. There's one section where we must have done it close to 30 times to make it perfect.
Oh, the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, that part? Yeah.
Oh, man, it was...
Can't believe I just sang to Mike Love.
Yeah.
Mike Love is our guest from the Beach Boys. Last year was Brian's chance to see it. Tonight is my chance. I'm coming out to Frederick, Maryland. You can, too, by the way. The concert's at 7:30 in Frederick at the Great Frederick Fair. And also tomorrow, Ocean City, Maryland, Sunfest 2013 is your chance to see the Beach Boys. You've got a heck of a schedule, Mike Love, and if I may, you make no secret of it, you're 70 years old. I mean, how are you keeping this up?
Well, you know, you live life in a sensible way. Some of our peers have chosen other ways to go, but the thing is, you know, I meditate every day. I do transcendental meditation.
You're still doing that?
Yeah, from Maharishi, and it's been a big, huge help. I mean, it gets rid of a lot of stress and develops a bit of energy and clarity. And so, that's one good thing. But, you know, I don't go out and rage all night long like you do when you first started.
You know, Mike Love, you mentioned clean living, and I hate to drag you into controversy here, and just push back if you want to, but I look back at so much that has been written about the Beach Boys, and it always seems to me that there were two camps. You're either on Mike Love's side or you're on Brian Wilson's side of the Wilson brothers and Mike and Al, and it seems to me that you got a bad rap there in the late 60s, early 70s, because you were, I guess, a little straighter. You weren't into drugs. You were living clean. You were working hard, and it seems to me the media at the time, because it was so cool to be into drugs, that you ended up in some way being the bad guy because you wanted to get back to work.
Well, there was a kind of a them and an us situation there. At one time, when we were touring at the height of the 60s success, we had a smoker's jet and a non-smoker's jet. And the smoking wasn't just about
tobacco.
Cigarettes either. Yeah, exactly. So, there was a definite schism in that way in terms of choice of lifestyles. And
in fact, I'm reading an interview that you did recently. You know, you wrote the most of the lyrics to California Girls. I mean, Brian had the chorus, but you came up with all the other lyrics. You know, the East Coast Girls are hip and all that stuff. Right. But you found out during the 50th anniversary tour that when Brian was and you were writing that song that he was on LSD at the time.
Yeah, he was taking LSD, which I'd never known before at that point in time. I know he'd been doing various drugs prior to that, and subsequent to that, after the Pet Sounds album was recorded and he was working on an album called Smile, he took enough LSD to make him completely weird out, and that was messed up. He actually shelved the album for decades because, like for instance, he did a section of music called Fire, the elements, and one of them being fire. And during the session, there was a fire in L.A., and so he thought that his music caused that, but he was getting a little weird at that time.
Mike Love is our guest, and we're talking about the Beach Boys, of course, and the Beach Boys perform tonight in Frederick and also tomorrow night in Ocean City. And, Mike, I was a Southern California teenager during the Reagan years there in the mid-'80s, and I remember your July 4th concerts were always just the most patriotic and most American-loving, wonderful. I wonder, and I remember you loving those concerts, too, at the time. Has the country changed?
Well, yeah. I mean, they canceled July 4th this year. I don't. They're talking about the sequestration and stuff like that, but which I think is carrying politics a bit too far.
You mean when they decided the White House decided to cancel the celebrations because of that?
I thought that was a bummer. But anyway, yes, it was my idea to come to do the free concert by the Beach Boys on July 4th at the mall, because I thought it was a great way to celebrate the Independence Day. Yeah. So it got to the point where one year we did Philadelphia in the afternoon and D.C. in the evening. We played for over 1.5 million people in person on that one day.
Wow! So what are you gonna hear tonight?
Everything from Surf and Safari to Kokomo and all things in between and around. Actually, we just came out with a new box set.
Yeah.
It's like several CDs, got more than 100 songs on it.
And I'm seeing a song, this is from Capitol Records, just came out about 2 weeks ago, and apparently there's a song that you've never released before called Going to the Beach.
And we're playing that in our show tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really catchy. It's right in there for it. We do it in our encore. We'll do Going to the Beach into Surfing USA, and it's perfect. It's a lot of fun. It's a song we recorded, and it's very catchy. I love the song, and I wrote the song, and we sang the song, but we shelved it, and we never put it out, and now it's out.
Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck on your tour. I know also in Ocean City, you'll enjoy it there. And I got to tell you, it's just a thrill for a guy named Brian Wilson to be talking to Mike Love.
Well, that's cousin Brian, yeah.
if only you could get some of those royalties.
I just want to be an honorary member. That's all.
Yeah, well, you are, I think.
Right. Well, good. Thank you very much. I'll take that.
All right, Mike Love, thanks so much for joining us. And once again, Frederick tonight, Ocean City tomorrow, and Charleston, West Virginia on Sunday. That's a busy
These
schedule.
guys are moving.
And Richmond on Wednesday, all over the area.
You know what? He's everywhere because they get around.
They certainly
They do.
had to do that.